All right, welcome everyone. I am Justin Ham with Ham's Mountain Workshop, and welcome to this episode of Ham's Mountain Workshop. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be making some raised vegetable planters, raised flower boxes, things along those lines. Yesterday, what I did is I went and grabbed a giant poplar tree that has been felled for over a year and brought it back here to the sawmill. Had to do some things with Backhoe Bobby, got it up and running great, and we ended up taking a few of those logs that I cut into 13 feet, and the rest of them were down into 9 feet because I need to make a bunch of 2x4s for the workshop. But what we're doing today is we were going to go ahead and start making these flower boxes. So the first step I did was I took those 12-foot pieces, and then I cut them down, 13-foot pieces, and I cut them down into roughly, 4.5 foot each. And then what I'm doing right now, just under 4.5 foot each, is I'm putting them on my jig that I use to make straight edges. So I got my jig, and then I put my spacers in here. This way it's almost exactly 12 inches that I need. Then I screw my jig down to my board. So when I run it through the actual table saw, we're getting a straight edge from basically this factory straight edge right here. So that is the first step, is I need to go ahead and straighten all my pieces. I have 4 done. This is the 5th one. I got a bunch more over there I got to do. So watch me straighten some stuff. Let's get this bad boy facing the saw more. A little bit down more. Oh, you can see Oscar the mill right there. Look at Oscar. You got Backhoe Bobby right behind it. This is Tim the table saw from Tim the Toolman Taylor. Now what these are roughly 7 inch by 1 inch pieces. I want to keep it as close to 7 inches as I can. This way those planter boxes will be deep as possible. So when I rip a straight edge, I'm barely ripping anything. Now we got the jig attached to it. Take out the spacers. Bring this to the saw, run it through. All right, you get the idea. So I'm going to rip. I got 2, 4, 6, 8 more to rip. I'm going to rip the rest of one side. I'll turn this thing back on when we're ready to rip the other side. All right, on all those pieces over there, you got one side perfectly straight. Now we're going to take these other boards and rip them straight on the other side. And we got a straight board. Chat. Wind is really picking up over here, guys. Let's keep going. All right, I'll let you know when I'm done. All right. Now that the wind's not blowing and I'm done ripping, I got all of the pieces, which is going to be enough for 2 planter boxes, ripped down on both sides. They're all exactly 6.5 inches in width. They're all 1 inch thick, or maybe a little bit more. I have 6 of them that are already perfectly 48 inches in square. Here comes the wind again. I hope this phone don't blow over. I have another 6 pieces that I cut at 49 inches because with that 12-foot board of poplar, it's too hard to just, have exactly just a little bit just to shave it off. I don't have the proper workbench here. Once I get Ham's Mountain Workshop and the workbench is up and running in there, which is what these 2x4s are for, then it'd be a lot easier. But I'm out here on a couple of mobile stations, so what I need to do is measure on those 49-inch boards all the way down to 48 inches and just take 1 inch off almost every board. So we're set up right here. See what I'm doing? Again, I hope the wind doesn't knock this over again. So on these boards, I got one side already square. Then I just need to go ahead and mark first 48 inches. Line it up on the table saw. A lot easier when the board's not 12 foot long. I wiggle it into place. And most importantly, make sure I have power. Now this board's perfect. I don't want it going anywhere. Let me go get power. The power was still on the table saw. All right, we have our 48-inch pieces done. Now we need to make our sidewalls the short way, which are going to be 22 inches. Because remember, we got 1 inch thick wood, so 1 inch on one side, 1 inch on the other side is 2 inches. 24 inches wide minus 2 inches, 22 inches. Now, what I'm going to do with this leftover board you get out of it, because that's why I kept it long, I'm going to use these to make the shelves in Ham's Mountain Workshop and for the French cleats, and these are perfect size for shelves. All right, let's finish up the rest of these. 22 inches. Now remember, I love using mechanical pencils because it really lets you get a very accurate reading of where to drop that chop saw at. So I think I'm going to call this guy Chopper, just like from the show One Piece. Chopper the chop saw, Timmy the table saw, Oscar Miller, Oscar the sawmill, Backo Bobby. We're just naming shit around here. All right, we got our 12 pieces. So the next thing I want to do is I want to make a template of where to put all the screw holes. And for that, I might as well use one of these spare pieces right here. I'm going to go ahead and make it 2 inches wide. All right, everybody, let's take a look at the stack over. All right, everybody, let's take a look at the stack over here. This big old 2x, which is way thicker than a 2x, is what we are going to be ripping today. And the easiest way to do that is not bring it to my chop saw, but bring the circular saw to it. I have it marked exactly in the middle. So the first step is cut it in half so it's actually manageable. All right. Next thing we got to do is we got to rip this thing down. So let's go back to the ripping station on the table saw. Oh, Timmy the table saw. Chopper the chop saw. Ooh, what are we going to call my circular saw? I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. This is a 45-year-old table saw, so sometimes you just got to be gentle with it. All right, so now that I got both of these ripped down to 2 inches, or sorry, just ripped down each side, now I'm going to start ripping 2-inch cuts out of them. All of the prep work is done. I went ahead and ripped all the 2x2s. Let me show you what we got. So this is a total of 2 sets over here. All right, so we have 6 pieces for the side walls, the small side. We have 6 pieces for the long side. We have 2 of the supporting beams that are going to hold the bottoms on. We have 2 short ones for the short side. We also have 4 legs, and we have an extra center support beam right here. All set up, ready for assembly. I got the first piece on the assembly table, so let me go ahead and show you what it looks like. This is the shorter side that we're doing right here. So I don't know how, yeah, you can see all of that. I have the legs laid out. I have the 3 pieces laid out, how I'm going to have them. I have the holes facing up because on the other side there might not be holes. The couple of things we're going to use here is we are going to use some Tight Bond Ultimate Wood Glue #1 rated waterproof. That's the key. These are outdoor. So we're going to use some waterproof. And the one thing I need to go grab is a roller. I'll be right back. On this next step, we're just got the 2 side walls up. Now we're going to put the long wall together and attach it to the 2 side walls. So I got one lined up. I need to go ahead and get some wood glue and roll it on. All right, as you can see, I ended up getting a new bottle of wood glue. Got it ready. We got both of these assembled beautifully. What we need to do now is cut in the bottom bracers that's going to hold the bottom shelves on, so you can dump it full of, you know, compost, topsoil, garden soil, potting soil, whatever kind of soil you're going to put in there. And so I already got one measured out. I need to cut 4 of them. So again, I'd originally cut these too long on purpose because I wanted an exact measurement. So here we are. Let's go ahead and adjust this camera. We'll keep those in the background because they're pretty. All right, so the next step is let's go ahead and install them into these big boys. All right, if you could see that, that's 2 of 4 of the bottom braces. I got to do 4 on one and 2 more on this one. So I'll pause the video there. Let me get that done. We'll move on to the next step. All right, we got all inserts inserted. The next step is I needed to make a template. So I got a template here. I know it's hard to see because it's made out of the same wood. I do have it clamped onto the thing. It measures exactly 1 inch up, and then every 4 inches there's a hole. So I don't need to worry about the first 4. That's already taken care of. I need to worry about starting from 4. So there's a hole drilled 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, all the way to 40. I'm going to do that and drill these holes and then put some screws in. We're at the last 5 screws. Come on. That's it. We're done with that part. So here we go, chat. Get a good look, everybody. 2 beautiful planter boxes. The last step to building these things. So we got the sidewalls up. We got the legs up. We got it all glued and mounted to each other. We need to make some bottom board. That's what this board is right there. So let's take some measurements and I'm going to go rib some board and put some bottom in it. See you soon. All right, we are down to one of the last steps of building these things. I got the bottoms all ripped up. Some might need to be ripped a little bit more, but before I do that and take measurements, I need to go ahead and cut out the corners of these bottom pieces, or at least on 4 of them. 1 corner on one side, 1 on the other, plus the 2 boxes. So 4 of these are going to get cut down, and I'm going to measure them 2 by 2 and cut them with my jigsaw. Just over 5.5 and just over 5 1/8. So, last 2 pieces that need to go in are right here. Start with the other side. So here we go. Let's cut it one more. 47. All right. Let me go rip these real quick. All right, there you have it. We are looking good. The building is done on both of these. And just so you can see the inside here, 1 inch thick on the inside, 18 inches deep, 48 inches long, 24 inches wide. These things are beautiful. We're going to do a little wood drying, or, well, a little wood burning. I love burning wood with a big flamethrower because it brings out a nice grain. dries out that nice. This way when I put the stain on, it's going to soak in real nice. I'm waiting on Amazon to deliver the leg covers, little 2x2 little leg things that you put the legs into. They're nice rubber and plastic, so when you set them on the ground, it's going to protect the wood. So let me go ahead and dump some emery on my phone, and then we're going to bring the flamethrower over and start flaming these things down. I'm going to do a little cleanup first while this thing's dumping memory, and I'll see you in a minute. We are almost done with these things. I'm still waiting on Amazon tomorrow to deliver the I don't know, the 2x2. It keeps the wood off the ground, little plastic things that go around the feet. But let me go ahead and show you. Here's what, before I do anything else to them, you are more than welcome to order them plain and stain them your way, burn them your way if you want to. They're absolutely gorgeous. However, this is the way I finish them. You can have them like this as well. This is slightly Japanese wood burnt, and then you also got some stain on it. This is to protect all the wood. It's a linseed oil stain with some coloring. And of course, it doesn't really matter what you put on them because you should be using liners inside of these giant vegetables, garden raised flower beds themselves. The very last step I want to show you is exactly how to burn them. So I got my propane torch right here ready to go. Let me set this camera up and let me get to burning. All right, this wind is picking up again. So, got my propane torch. Let's turn on some gas. All right, that's about the gist of them. I have to go burn the other two sides, turn them on their back, burn the bottoms, and then I go ahead and put the linseed stain on them. These suckers are going to be ready. I'm going to take a couple of pictures. I'm going to crop this video tonight for YouTube, so anybody looking at these on Facebook Marketplace, you'll be able to see exactly how I made them and how well the construction is and the sturdiness of it is, what they should really cost. So check these out. I'm probably going to sell them for $6,455,000 a piece, and I'm sure I'll get at least a ton of buyers out of it at that price. So let me go ahead and finish these up, and then I can end my day. It took me 2 days to cut down it. Well, I didn't cut down the tree, and that was a year ago. But then saw it in the logs, bring it over to my sawmill, chop it up on the sawmill, let it dry out, turn it into lumber, lumber into boxes, boxes into beauty, beauty into money. So that's all I got for this video. Again, look at the final product right there. Absolutely gorgeous. That is a deep boy. I don't think I'll be making very many this deep. I'll be making them usually about 12 inches deep, only about 2 of the panels and not quite as high. But I wanted to do those special for somebody that's growing some deep vegetables. So that's all I got for this video. Thank you for tuning in to Ham's Mountain Workshop. There's the workshop right there. I know I did absolutely no work in the workshop today. Did it all outside, but the actual workshop is the entire mountain. I'll see you soon, everybody. Bye.